Hey friends, Andrea here, hanging out at the airport, waiting to board a plane to Ecuador. Happy spring break to those who get to celebrate. I'm so excited to go and visit Gabriel. He recently bought a 19-room estate in the mountains, in the clouds. So we're gonna do a little business, we're gonna do some thinking and planning for the future, but well, I'm at the airport stupid early because international flights don't really have the delays that domestic flights do when it comes to TSA. My mother called me and was like, worried, you gotta get there early. I'm like, no, that's domestic. We're not domestic, we're international. Anyway, I want to take a moment to read part of my new book, Guided by Power. So each book starts with a letter from the guide. So I want to read this first letter from the guide, and hopefully it will entice you to buy a copy, maybe buy the whole series. So let's begin. Letter from the guide. Hello, my name is Andrea, and I will be your guide for this episode of Guided By. Thank you for joining me for the first of 4 thematic issues in this series. Each book explores a different dimension of sustainability, expanded beyond the environmental into questions of power, materiality, community, and future imagination. I want to begin with a story that has guided my own path, the prophecy of the condor and the eagle. I first heard of it at an event hosted by the Society for Ethical Culture during a Pachamama Alliance gathering. The prophecy speaks of 2 ways of being: the eagle, representing the mind, technology, rationality, and industrial expansion, and the condor, representing the heart, intuition, spirituality, and connection to the natural world. According to the version shared that night, the imbalance began in the late 1400s, timed alongside the year 1492, when Columbus arrived in the Americas and the eagle path began to dominate. We are told that beginning in the year 2000, humanity entered a 50-year window to restore harmony between the 2 ways of knowing. But it is important to name something honestly. The prophecy did not originate in a culture that measures time the way Western audiences do. The version I heard had already been shaped and translated through someone else's lens, adapted from a modern American room, trying to understand cosmetology, not their own. This doesn't make it meaningless, it makes it a reminder. Reminders that stories travel, shift, and get interpreted through systems of power, and it invites us to approach them with humility. What stayed with me was this: we are living in a time where unity, balance, and reconnection are not only possible, they are urgently needed. And this is why I created this series. In these 4 books, Guided by Power, Guided by Materiality, Guided by Community, and Guided by Future Thinking, you will explore theory, practice, reflection, and lived experience woven together. Together we can examine how systems shape us, how to claim agency, and how to cultivate a way of living that is sustainable not only for the planet, but for your body, mind, and spirit. My hope is that this series becomes a companion, a workbook, and a mirror, something that helps you reconnect to yourself and to the world around you. Thank you for letting me walk with you. With care, Andrea. So that's the first section of the first book, and I hope you found it interesting and want to keep reading with me.